Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Lost Eidolons. Now, at the end of the last episode, when I stopped recording, I played on for a few minutes while the episode was processing. I was a bit tired and frustrated. It felt like Eden wasn't really getting any closure regarding the sudden loss of his good friend Gilbert. And I did a few things in those few minutes that I'm going to attempt to replicate now. So, first thing I did was I went and looked here. And I checked. And it says, you haven't met the conditions to start this quest, hidden conditions. I'm aware that previously it said like hidden conditions not met and chapter conditions not met yet. So I loaded up a number of previous saves going all the way back to like chapter 21 I think. But I'm just going to go back to chapter 25, alright? Because each of them showed me the same thing. I thought maybe I've missed something. Perhaps I missed something in a previous chapter that I failed to do. Where are we? Gilbert. Chapter requirements not yet met. And it said this on the save, on the save for virtually every previous save. So then, I came back to the current save, loaded this up, and lo and behold, the chapter conditions have now been met, so it must be something I can do in this chapter. So I thought, okay, what can I do? I've walked around camp, I've spoke to almost everyone, I skipped over a few people, because I had so many leadership points, I knew I'd be doing the rounds again to spend those points, and I thought, why don't I go to the graveyard? Because there might be some kind of headstone or monument to Gilbert there. And previously there's been times when we've entered the graveyard or approached a location and another character has entered the scene during a cutscene who wasn't there when we arrived necessarily. So I thought, I will go to the graveyard. Perhaps I'll meet someone there. Maybe Lavana. Probably not, because she's one of those minor characters who doesn't have much dialogue. But I thought I will go to the graveyard and see what I can find out. And this is what happened when I did. Robin, Leon, I promised you. I won't let it be for nothing. I'll put an end to this. Watch and see. And I can't remember if that was voiced or not last night. It probably wasn't, because it wasn't this time. But I found it interesting that he hadn't mentioned the name of Gilbert, so I thought, I'll go take a look at all the gravestones and see if there's one with Gilbert's name on. I got about as far as this one, and I looked at it, and it said Hild the Scarred, and I thought, yeah, no, there's not going to be a gravestone for Gilbert here, there's nothing special. Perhaps, when I leave, someone will appear and do something, like say hello, give me a message. And I walked down this path, and nothing happened. So then I thought, who do I know who is a spy? Who do I know that is very good at gathering information? And the fact that Eden didn't mention the death of Gilbert among his fallen friends there seemed important to me. So I thought I should blatantly come and have a word with Leonard. And I did just that.
What is it?
And here is a new conversation topic that I don't believe was here before I went to the graveyard. So I clicked this button, and I witnessed this conversation and really wished I was recording it live for the first time, but it was quite late and I was rather tired. In fact, I'll just check I'm recording now. Yep, all good. So here we go. Leonard, have you found out any more details about Gilbert's death?
Yes.
Yes. The first report regarding Gilbert's passing came shortly after Clara defeated the nobles. Now, I thought about this because the soldier who reported this to us told us he didn't have all the facts and didn't have all the information. And if there's someone who's very good at getting all the information, it's Marshall, and that's because Leonard gets it for her. Prisoners from Emmerich's side were questioned extensively.
Curious.
Before battle, Gilbert went into Hullisburg to negotiate with House Siegwolf. At the time, Clara's forces were stationed outside the city. As I understand it, at some point after Gilbert's arrival, Clara's troops moved camp, so they left him there, abandoning him possibly. It's likely the Siegwolves interpreted that as an attack and responded in kind.
Damn.
You're saying Clara's orders got him killed? I can't speak to anyone's intent, but that seems to be the chain of events. And the body? No sign, but we'll keep searching.
Uh-huh.
Keep me posted. I need to go have a word with Clara. And this is where I stopped. Actually, that's not entirely true. I walked about this far towards there, and then, or this far, and then thought, you know what? This is special. This is something I should be recording. Especially as now, hidden conditions. Okay. Still hidden, but let's go see what she has to say for herself. I did say last time it would be very easy for Eden to blame Clara about this. It would be very easy for her to react as if he is blaming her, even if he isn't.
Well, well. Look who it is.
I need to talk to you about Gilbert.
Huh.
I had a feeling this was coming. Leonard says you moved your troops while Gilbert was behind enemy lines. Is that true? It is. Why did you do it? I got word that Chelsea was on her way. If I hadn't moved, we could have been surrounded. And you didn't think that might put Gilbert's life at risk, or to send a message to him? I knew the risks, but the troops' lives took priority. If I'd waited around, we might have lost it all. You couldn't have waited any time at all, or tried to warn him? Were you trying to get him killed? Like I said before, victory takes risk and sacrifice. Sometimes she's rather too cold for her own good. But she's often quite heated. This is possibly due to her arrogance, her egotistical side. So long as it's other people's lies, right? Not lives, but lies. I think that might be a spelling mistake. I think they meant the word lives.
Have you lost it?
I had to choose between one old man and 1,000 good soldiers. I chose. We'll talk about this after Ballastar's beaten. Interesting. That... Was that it? Hold on. There's something right here. This is sus. Hold it. So what? Done my decision. Huh.
Yes.
Marshall, what are you doing out here?
I'm not sure. I thought I heard some kind of commotion, so I came to check.
Could be Ballastar's deserters. That lullaby is working better than we thought.
But I could have sworn I...
Commander, I've been looking for you.
What's the matter?
Sir, scouting report. There have been monsters sighted nearby.
Talk about timing.
Oh?
How close to camp? Anything to worry about?
No, sir, but
What's the problem?
a merchant fled the scene, and he said it was Sir Gilbert who helped him get away.
What did you say?
Oh!
Gilbert!
No way. You mean he's...
How well do you know this merchant? Is it someone you trust?
He's one of our regular suppliers, ma'am. He said he knew Gilbert from around camp. I asked the man 3 times if he was sure. Even made him give Gilbert's description. He said Gilbert's alone, in danger, and needs assistance.
My gods. Eden,
You're dismissed.
Yes, sir.
I need to think this over.
of course.
Well, don't take too long. It sounds like that wily old fox managed to give his enemies the slip and is in need of our assistance. But hey, I'm supposed to talk to you and you're like, kind of like right here, so
Yes.
you know.
Ballastar's within reach, and all of a sudden Gilbert comes back from the dead? It's suspicious. But I can't help asking, what if? What do you think? Can we trust it?
It's a difficult call. If he's in danger, we can't just leave him. And if it happened nearby, it could mean he was on his way here. We have to go to him quickly.
Seems a little hasty, don't you think?
Clara,
I just heard. Gilbert's back, huh?
it's hard to believe, but if it's true...
Are you really sure it's a good idea to move troops now? Based on one report? Second-hand? Unverified? You know this could be a trap, right?
Oh, I'm
This
well
war's
aware.
not over yet.
She's not wrong. It's a very real possibility. But it's also true that we never found a body. If there's even the slightest chance, I think we owe it to him to investigate. But it's not a decision you should make lightly.
Well, it's not my place to decide. This one's your call. What's it gonna be?
This isn't even a decision.
I won't lose anyone else. I don't care if it's an ambush or not. If this is someone's idea of a trap, we'll make them regret it. I'm going after the old man.
Eden.
All right. If that's your choice.
Yeah, you better come too,
Marshall,
lady.
ready the troops. Let's go get him back.
You got some serious apologizing to do. Join the optional battle and rescue Gilbert. Alright, and we got leadership points to play with. Right, Clara really doesn't want to do this, but she also has to come along. She's the one who got him into this situation, so she has to come along to prove no hard feelings, so that you won't feel so badly about her. And I might have to spend some leadership points on her so she feels a bit better afterwards, but hey. So yeah, I've got 90 leadership points to spend. Right. So that means I now should have a side quest up there. Excellent stuff. Right, so Johanna's actually pretty close. Edie, Andrea. I mean, Clara could do with a bit more, I suppose, but let's see what else. I'm also looking for double rewards. Viturin's really close, actually, so let's go look for him. He's going to be like, no, okay. Oh, right, he was here.
You have my attention.
Can't fight a war without horses. What else can't you do?
Hi there.
I want to ask you something. Keep it quick. I've training to do. I heard a rumor you hunted down a squad of Imperials who looted a village and executed them.
Are you certain?
And if I did, would you call me a monster? If so, you can go ahead and say it. Because the rumors are true. No, that's not what I would say. Huh? What happened couldn't be avoided. You shouldn't be too hard on yourself. If you're planning to comfort me with a bunch of trite platitudes, just... You and I are more alike than you think. I helped take down a lord, but I couldn't bring down the whole empire. That's why I joined the rebels. My choices forced other people to uproot their lives, either to follow me or avoid the blowback. But now I'm trying to make things right. That's what counts. That's why I'm still here. And the same can be said of you. Spare me the honeyed words. I've no use for them. Only time will tell if there's any truth to your words. Surely means only time will tell. It will, because we're going to win. Leave me. I want to rest. Building a bond with your horse is just as vital as something that went off the screen very quickly. You know, we could give him a gift as well. We've got plenty of these. Oh, a brass scabbard. Yeah, sure.
I give you my thanks.
That did it. And this was a rapport rewards. Complete all rapport conversations. Okay, fine, I'll do the conversation then.
You have my attention.
I wanted to see what it was first. You've been getting a bit of a reputation. My soldiers say you're a hard ass. Like your bottom is really metal solid. I told you they wouldn't like my methods. Alright, don't get carried away. We've already been through that once with Ballastar. A fierce reputation is one thing. Intimidating your own allies is another. I also hear you've been training like a man possessed, even on your own time. Not my fault if I got more stamina than anyone else around here, or more determination. This is not Undertale.
Well...
Fair enough, I guess. Just don't overdo it, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like you're punishing yourself somehow. Fair assumption. Especially considering the state I was in when I got here. But you don't have to worry about me. I may have gotten my position at Furta through nepotism, but let no man say I slack on my training. I mean, that's good and all, but still... As I said, your troops are lively. I suppose it's rubbing off on me. Being here, it reminds me what it's like to feel alive. I didn't think I'd ever feel that way again. You could have fooled me. I spent too many years doing only the bare minimum. And for a cause I didn't like to boot. Now I'm doing what I want, how I want. If I die of exhaustion, I'll do it with a smile on my face. We've still got a lot of work to do, you know. I'm glad you're having fun. Just pace yourself, alright? I'll do my best. And now we've gained an additional training slot, which is probably not that helpful this late in the game. Might have been nice earlier, but at least now I know what that reward was. So... do I really want to max out rapport with Johanna? I'd say that seems like one of the most reasonable options. Haven't a clue what she likes, because she's very obstinate. Who's that? Borislav and Raphael, of course. Well, let's just pop into this tent briefly. Not talking to you, Clara. You don't deserve it right now. We're going to talk to your friend. Yeah, we'll be mean girl Eden and leave you out of this conversation. So, nah.
Hello.
I mean, she's gotta like some of these, right? We know she likes food, but she doesn't like food and she's allergic to food. She doesn't like people. We know that... Okay, look, Clara.
Well, well. Look who it is.
Just a hunch, right? Not her favourite gift category, okay.
Hello.
Well. Might as well just do it.
Thanks.
Yep, she liked that.
Hello.
60 points, and we have 5 gift items, which is 25, so sure, we can do at least one more of these.
Hello.
Do you need tactical advice? Well, there's a whole load of things here we could talk to you about, like Isoro, or Clara, or how to win the war. Ooh, maybe I should have just done a few of these earlier. Of the three of... Right, Isoro, it would be interesting to know what she thought of... I believe this topic would only become available with her after Isoro's death. I don't think we could do camp activities with her before that point. And it would be interesting to know what she thinks about it, because she might divulge something that Clara would hold back, even though Johanna is much more of a private person. Her closest friendship is with Clara, so this might be a good way to get her to open up and speak a bit. This feels very important right about now. I'll go with this one. Maybe she can shed some light on what's been going on with Clara.
Hi there.
Johanna, what are your thoughts on Clara right now? Bearing in mind that right now may have been earlier in the game, because this is one of those floating conversations that could have happened earlier.
I see.
She's been a different person since Ballastar took her eye. Yeah, you can say that again. I can't say whether the change has been good or bad, but she's certainly more irritable. She's open to the concept of loss. She's taking defeat and injury very personally, obviously. But yeah, that could be a moment when she realized, I can actually lose things. Things can go wrong. Things can hurt. So she's getting more aggressive and impatient and angry and irritable, and that's why she then isn't as successful as she previously was. I'd have to agree with that. I'm worried about her. If she keeps on this way, facing Ballastar again will be the least of her worries. I don't always fully understand Clara, but I'm sure she'll be alright. Interesting. She's quietly confident in her abilities. The second she sets foot on the battlefield, she becomes a different person. Yeah, that's pretty true.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that myself. I still can't shake this feeling, you know? It's like something's just not quite right. Something's going to go wrong. There's nothing to be done about it for now. She won't stop until Ballastar is dead, so I'd better take her on that final mission. I suppose not. Well, I don't think we've solved much, but I appreciate the talk. I'll try to offer more specific information next time. Well, about that.
Hello.
Ah, the graveyard. By the way, I've been meaning to ask, why did you and Clara split up? It wasn't some screaming cat fight, if that's what you're imagining. Nice to know you have such a high opinion of me. I'm sorry. The last thing I want is to cause problems between you two. I'm just curious what made you decide to stay here with me. I think Clara blatantly told her to, or something similar. This may sound strange given the circumstances, but I owe Clara a lot. As in, she was going to stay behind and look after Eden for Clara's sake. Makes sense. For the trust she placed in me, or rather the respect. I've been through some difficult things. Becoming a mercenary let me escape them. But that's all it was, an escape. There are parts of myself I still need to sort through.
I'm listening.
And that's what you're doing now?
Yes.
It's hard to explain, but when Clara left, it felt like reaching the last crossroads before a long journey. Like, if I didn't choose another path, the chance might never come again. I've heard rumours about that difficult past you mentioned. I'd prefer to leave history where it is. How very American.
Sure.
I understand. I mean, it's more American than French. There's a But, you know, figuring yourself out, it takes more than just cutting parts away. Eventually, you have to let people in. I hope you feel you can trust me, Johanna. And if you do, maybe I can be a place to start.
Thanks.
Thank you for understanding. Don't mention it. We'll figure things out together. Who knows? Maybe it'll even be fun. Maybe. I wonder if that's given us a conversation topic to use with other people in camp activities now. Probably with Clara. 45 leadership points. That's 3 camp activities or 5 gifts, 1 camp activity, 5 points left over. So, 3 or 5 people. Or, well, 3 or less. Viturian's bumped up already. I might be able to push Gabriel up another tier to whatever that is as well. I don't think it's going to make a massive difference one way or the other. Let's do a time check. Okay. Okay. So we've got a new conversation. Hold it. Still hidden conditions. As if getting the quest on our journal wasn't condition enough. Quest available until chapter 26. It currently is chapter 26, so I presume that means until the end of chapter 26. Right, let's see. We have some things. An ancient word recently resurfaced. Eidolons refers to a pantheon of gods who once were believed to have inhabited Artemesia. Though each relevant being has been lost to history, and what remains is difficult to separate from myth, some common threads emerge. Most sources agree that the Eidolons were a quartet. In other words, there could be a follow-up game with 2 more of them in. Although the Michael's Aegis, the shield, might be enough, and the bow as well, so we might already have seen parts of them, and it's nice to not have everything shoehorned in one go. When they are described as manifesting physically, it is often as elemental animal spirits, a tiger wreathed in gales, a tortoise gleaming with shadow, a phoenix cloaked in flames, a dragon crackling with lightning. It may have been cackling as well, who knows? Elsewhere, they are represented less as literal beings and more as avatars of specific ideals: faith, patience, humility, and honesty. If we take those in order... No, that can't be right. The phoenix is not humility. So the air tiger would be faith, the shadowy tortoise would be patience. I can see patience for the tiger, humility for Ballastar, and the phoenix. So he could be completely going against what that stands for, and that could be why. A dragon crackling with lightning, honesty. I mean, Ballastar generally comes across as fairly honest in his delivery, in the way he speaks things, but he's also reasonably dishonest in the way that he's letting his delusions, his paranoia, override reality, and is lying to himself, and then supporting that lie when he perpetuates it to others. Humility. I mean, that's interesting as well, right? Because he's like a paranoid megalomaniac. But he does... But is he really? Or is he more of a humble man who just feels the fear of losing his grip on control? In ancient times, it is believed that the Eidolons lent their power to noble mortals who embodied these virtues. Yet, paradoxically, these same individuals often succumb to their darker counterparts: paranoia, wrath, arrogance, hypocrisy, bringing terrible ruin to the world. Which is the cause, and which the effect, remains unclear. Regarding the matter, I myself hesitate to draw firm conclusions, except to say this. Some believe that a certain inner darkness is necessary for a person to willingly undertake the trials entailed in bringing about change. Others say that it is the striving itself which invites darkness in, eroding even the gentlest of souls through trial and compromise. If these notions can be reconciled, I do not hold for wisdom, yet I suspect in my heart that the Eidolons might somehow fundamentally derive from the... yes, not derives, but derive from the ferocious violence of this single eternal contradiction. Okay. Albrecht Graphius. Records for Banarian Civil War. And we have one more. It is often said that a Banarian's first language is music. With a bustling trade economy owing to an unusually high number of towns and cities with working ports, the land has always been a richly cultured melting pot where the arts are held in the highest regard, and none more so than folk songs. From festive marches to meditative dirges, the history of any single tune typically stretches back thousands of years, predating the country itself. Predating, not predating, by the way. Predating would be to prey upon, to hunt, like a predator. Predating, to go before. Most towns, and yes, and they're spelt literally the same way. It's the opposite of a homonym. Homonym is two words that sound the same but are spelt differently. Two words that are spelled the same but are pronounced differently would be like refuse and refuse, for example. As in, to refuse something is to say, to deny it, to say no, and refuse is rubbish. It's stuff that's been like, it has literally been refused. Desert and desert. Desert and desert, for example, would be another one. Right. Many towns and regions have at least a few of their own, and the majority, lacking proper titles, are simply referred to by local shorthand, such as the Dance, or That Fast One, or the Prince of the Fairies. Is it the Prince of the Fairies or the King of the Fairies? I think it's the King of the Fairies, but I can't remember. Very simple violin tune, good for learning basic, early, simple dances. I mean, literally, the King of the Fairies has only got like 2 steps to it, I think. It's a circle dance. It's fairly simple and easy to learn. As a matter of tradition, such songs are passed down organically and are almost never put to paper, except when gently borrowed by opera composers. Gently. In days of old, young bards were expected to assemble their own repertoires via cross-country pilgrimage. Their routes, known as troopers' trails, have since become the very roads that merchants and soldiers walk today. Now, what have we here? We got a few things. I expect... Right. Unstoppable Elemental Grimoire. Did we get the... Binding Dark Grimoire. Did we get the Binding Dark Grimoire for pushing up her... Johanna's rapport? I think some of these may have come back now that Clara has returned, but those are not things she would have had. Right. Adamant plate armor, Imperious lever. So these again, things we've pretty much all seen before. Many potions. We purchased a lot of potions. We were putting those to good use. Moonlight Farewell. And things we lost along the way. Okay, let's think about this. If we're going to go rescue Robert, we should absolutely take Marshall. She wanted to come. We should absolutely take Clara because she didn't want to come. Francisco is a good friend of Robert's, so he should come. Francisco is a good friend of Gilbert's, and maybe Robert as well. Yeah, this is a full-on rescue now. And there's supposed to be monsters, so we will want one of every damage type. So we want a 2-handed axe, be it Pavlo or Hector. And we want to decide where these remaining leadership points are going to go. At this point, I don't think it's going to make a massive difference. I could push to complete Clara's rapport. I'm not sure she deserves it at the moment, but it was a difficult decision. In her case, I think I would have sent one person, one brave volunteer, to go warn Gilbert on the and I would inform that volunteer that, look, you're probably not going to be coming back, you're probably going to share Gilbert's fate. You know, we're not going to stick around and wait for you. I would have been tempted to go myself, but it's a position of it's a position of not of, well, yes, authority, but Responsibility. She is responsible for the lives of all those soldiers she is commanding. So she should, you know, take the life into her own hands, go take the thing, but then she's abandoning all of them and she's not protecting them and looking after them. So it's a difficult decision. I don't think we could complete Sarah, and I think she might expect too much of us if we did. Is there anyone else who's got a double reward coming up? Stella has, but it's so far away we're not going to get that with our limited points now. Gabriel? I believe from what I've seen this is another training slot, and we don't get training from optional battles. So training really doesn't matter at this point anymore. Pavlo is a good friend and we should build a bit of relationship with him. Sure, let's go look for Pavlo before it gets to optional battle time. He's not going to be up here. Oh, hello. Ah! He's here in the paddock. And I suspect I don't know enough about his taste in gifts. And we can't talk to him about horses anyway. Okay. Pretty sure I had this conversation last time. Okay, he likes the tools. I mean, this will probably work well with him, if not anyone else, so sure. Oh, not. Okay.
Hey!
Imagine he likes warrior stuff. Okay, let's look at who likes these now. That's a... What does Edie like? Probably should have given her that beer, actually. I think she liked food.
Greetings.
She did like food and drink. Okay. Oh, right, yes. Raphael is from a mining family. He liked the gem items. And, we got a magic item for someone like Lavana. And what did Borislav like again? I can't remember. We don't know what else he likes. It's probably warrior items. Tools. Okay. So we got two things that would be really nice for Gilbert. Gabriel, I think. He's down here by the merchant, isn't he? So if we give him the not so special one first as a tester to see if he'll like this one.
I give you my deepest gratitude.
He liked that one.
Yes?
So then we'll give him this one.
I give you my deepest gratitude.
Oh, that's good. And we'll have a talk.
Yes?
Hi there.
How's your magic training going?
Uh-huh.
Fairly well. Though these training grounds are a bit small for me to truly cut loose. I see. I'll talk to Robert about expanding it. Thank you. Huh? Wait, is that a new grimoire in your hand?
Great minds think alike.
Yes. I thought it was time for a fresh challenge. You truly never stop working, do you? Now I'm really curious about how you got into magic. That's... let me guess. You were a legendary chosen one, whisked away to a hidden palace to study under an ancient witch?
No.
And now you're just being ridiculous. Fine. Since you seem so curious, I'll tell you. Just what I wanted to hear. Many years ago, there was a young boy raised in an orphanage. Growing up in a place like that, the boy was fascinated with tales from afar. And none more so than tales of magic. Great heroes wielding primal forces to change the world. After hearing such a tale, the boy's eyes would shine with such grand visions. But what was he to do? It was challenging enough just to keep his belly full, let alone study magic. All he could do was imitate storybook mages and dream of becoming one. And... well, after that, the story is quite straightforward. To achieve his dream, the boy sweated and sacrificed, filled his belly even less to nourish his mind more. Every night, by firelight, he'd take pen to parchment, sketching visions of himself as a mighty wizard. You'd waste ink on that? You could have just used charcoal. So, you got into magic to become like the mages in the stories that inspire you? Yes, that's all. Terribly cliché, isn't it? It's alright. You can laugh. I
All right.
don't think that's anything to laugh at. Chasing what you want isn't funny, it's admirable. Still though, you have to admit it's a bit ridiculous. It was only years later that I even learned of the Cornelian Spire. The Cornelian what? Are you serious? We talked about this earlier. Just joking. Although come to think of it, I didn't learn about it. Anyway, my point is, if something moves you, it matters. You think so? I do. So careful how you talk about kids with dreams. You're not the only one around here, you know. Interesting. What? Eden, would you like to study magic with me? What makes you say that? I think I might have already done that a few times. I'd like to show you something really fun. According to his new grimoire, there are spells that require 2 people to cast. Oh, really? If you truly understand my story, then surely you see the appeal. I don't actually. I don't. Actually, besides, I have more important work to do, I think. Suit yourself. I'm sure we'll bump into one another again, given how small the training field is. Alright, as I said, I'll do it. Yeah, it's fine. And we got an extra training slot. Wonderful. But now I think it's optional battle time. We've got a Gilbert to go rescue, even if it is a trap. We also know there seem to be monsters mentioned. So what's this? Is it just the update for Gabriel? I think it is. There we go, yeah. Alright. Well, I think that's enough for this episode. I'll get this one saved and uploaded pretty soon. And when I come back, we'll be trying to rescue Gilbert. I'll probably be recording that while I upload this one. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode. The title should blatantly have given away the main subject matter of the episode. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one, which should also have a pretty obvious title. Right. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.